Chapter 8 Human Resources. Let's learn population and its distribution, factors affecting population distribution, change of population, population composition and sex ratio, population growth in India. Nature has given our earth many resources like land, water, soil, forests, animals, minerals, etc. Nature's bounty becomes significant only when people find it useful. Human resources or people are the most vital resource of this planet, as they can discover, develop, enhance, utilize, convert and maximize other resources. That is why human beings are considered a resource. It is the ability of human beings which helps in transferring a physical material into a valuable resource. In ancient times, most of the work was done manually. Hence, the strength of a country was dependent on its total population. More people meant more progress. However, since the development of science and technology, the situation has changed altogether. Now a machine can do the work of many people, but running these machines requires skill. Therefore, now the real asset of a country is not its large population, but its trained, skilled and creative people. A large population of illiterate, untrained and unskilled people will not contribute to the development of a country. Instead, they will consume the resources and hinder the progress and development of the country. InfoHive. Almost 3/4 of the world's total population lives in 2 continents, Asia and Africa. Distribution of population. Human resources, like other resources, are not equally distributed across the world. They differ in their educational levels, age and sex. Their numbers and characteristics also keep changing. 90% of the world's population lives in about 10% of the total land surface. The number of persons living per unit area, say per square kilometer on average, is called density of population. Example, 382 people per square kilometer in India as per 2011 census. According to the density of population, the world can be divided into 3 regions: thickly populated areas, moderately populated areas, and sparsely populated areas. Thickly populated areas. The fertile river valleys of industrialized parts of the world generally have a very high density of population because of many favorable conditions that are available there. The warm climate and fertile soil help in producing crops almost throughout the year. In Western Europe and East Central North America, the main reasons for high density of population are mineral resources, development of industries, and climate suitable for human habitation. Moderately populated areas. The areas with moderate density of population are not a constant belt in the countries or continents. These areas do not have a high population density, but due to some development, people have settled there for agriculture, mining or industry. Central USA, tropical West Africa, the Deccan Plateau of India, central China and parts of South America are moderately populated. Here is a diagram of the distribution of world's population. Sparsely populated areas. These areas do not present conditions conducive to settlement, especially climate, so they are not favored for human habitation. The geographical factors do not allow resources to develop to the extent of meeting human needs. These areas include very cold places or very hot places like deserts. Tundra region in the north, the thickly forested areas of the Amazon and the Congo basins as well as Sahara Desert come under this category. Factors affecting distribution of population. Distribution of population around the world depends upon climate, land features, soil vegetation, etc. of a place. This great diversity continues to be reflected in the variation of distribution of population across the world. The following are the factors that affect population distribution around the world. Relief. Relief represents the differences in elevation and slope between the higher and lower parts of the land surface, which directly affects the accessibility of that area. The areas which are easily accessible are most likely to be inhabited by people. That is why we find that the plains are densely populated and areas of rugged relief like mountains and plateaus are not. The Ganga Plains are one of the most densely populated areas of the world, while mountains like Andes, Alps and Himalayas are sparsely populated. Climatic conditions. Climatic condition is one of the most important factors which affects density and distribution of population. Favorable climate provides convenient living conditions for human beings. The higher density of population is found in areas where the climate is favorable. But areas with harsh climate, that is areas that are too hot, too cold, too dry or too wet, have lower density of population. In India, the areas having dry climate such as western Rajasthan and the areas with extreme cold climate such as the Ladakh in Jammu and Kashmir have low density of population. Brain tickler. Human population is more in hot torrid zone than in more climatically comfortable temperate zone. Why? Natural vegetation. People prefer to settle in places having precious and abundant natural vegetation, as we can see in the hot and humid regions. Soil. Human beings depend upon the quality of soil for agriculture. Areas of fertile soil can therefore support larger populations. That's why the regions of fertile soil such as the alluvial plains of North India and coastal plains have higher density of population. On the other hand, the areas with less fertile soils like parts of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Gujarat have lower density of population. Water availability. Humans can occupy even dry areas provided there is some amount of fresh water for domestic and irrigation purposes. The small settlements in the deserts prove this point. Info hive. Illiteracy and population growth are interlinked and affect a country's development. Mineral resources. Minerals have always attracted human concentration. The main reason for development of Uranium City in the desolate and cold northern Canada is the availability of uranium. Industries. Development is an important factor why people like to settle there. Industrial development at a place attracts a large number of people from other regions because there are more employment opportunities. Means of transportation and communication. Some parts of most countries have better transport and communication facilities and other public utility services than the other parts. In India, areas of northern plains are very well connected, whereas northeastern areas have comparatively poor connectivity. All such areas where the public facilities are well developed have a comparatively higher density of population. Urbanization. Urbanization attracts a large number of people from rural areas to urban areas due to many purposes, such as medical, educational, better civic facilities, etc. The chief reason for this is that all these facilities are not available in rural areas. Government policies. Government policies play an important role in the settlement process of people at a place. At times, the government announces tax concessions and other facilities at certain places. This attracts people to settle here. Change of population. The quality of population as a human resource in any country is greatly influenced by the pattern of population change. The change can be in terms of positive population growth or negative population growth. InfoHive. From 2008 to 2016 March, global population increased from 6.689 billion to 7.4 billion. Brain Tickler. What is the average annual increase in the world population? Although the population of the world is still growing, there are countries where it is declining. Both the situations of population change have their impact on the quality of human resources. If population grows at a faster rate, it results into an imbalance between population growth and resources of a country. This situation has an adverse impact on the quality of human resources. Birth rate. Births are usually measured using the birth rate, that is the number of live births per 1,000 people. Here is the map which shows the density of population in the world. Death rate. Deaths are usually measured using the death rate, that is the number of deaths per 1,000 people. Migration. A migration is the movement of people in and out of an area. Emigrants are people who leave a country, and immigrants are those who arrive in a country. Natural growth rate. Births and deaths are the natural causes of population change. The difference between the birth rate and the death rate of a country is called the natural growth rate. The population increase in the world is mainly due to rapid increase in the natural growth rate. Trends in population change. Rates of population growth vary from country to country. Some countries like Kenya have high population growth rates. They have both high birth rates and death rates. In other countries like United Kingdom, population growth is slowing because of both low death and low birth rates. There is a gradual increase in the birth rate with passing years. The statistical figures state that annual growth rate was about 1% in 1930, but increased to 2% by 1960. Many factors contribute to this increase in rate, such as better medical facilities and healthy lifestyle, which were not there in the olden times. Developing countries are the main contributors in increasing the world population, and it is estimated that world's population can reach up to 8,000 million in the next 10 years. Migration of individuals across countries or within the country itself causes change in the population growth. The developed countries or cities are densely populated since they provide better standard of living along with diverse economic opportunities. However, people living in rural or undeveloped areas face unemployment, poverty, lack of educational and health facilities, which compel them to migrate to cities. Now, with improving health care, death rates have fallen and birth rates have risen high, leading to high growth rates. Population composition. Population composition refers to the structure of the population, that is, number of males and females, age group, education, occupation, income levels and health of population. The composition of population helps us to know the number of males or females to which age group they belong, how educated they are, what type of occupations they are employed in, what are their income levels and their health conditions. It is the description of population defined by characteristics such as age, sex, rural, urban or literacy status. An interesting way of studying the population composition of a country is by looking at the population pyramid, also called an age-sex pyramid. It helps us to know the population under different age groups, that is from 0 to 15, 15 to 59, and 60 and above. It also shows the number of males and females under each group. Age composition. The age composition of the population has significant implications for the current and future development of a country. Population has been traditionally divided into three broad age groups: children 0 to 14 years, adults 15 to 60 years, and old more than 60 years. The tapering figure of the population based on age and sex is termed as population pyramid. An interesting way of studying the population composition of a country is by studying its population pyramid. Population pyramid of Kenya. The population pyramid of Kenya is very wide at the bottom and very narrow at the top. This means that while the birth rate is very high, so is the death rate. A larger proportion of people below 15 years of age show that the relative number of dependents is very high in Kenya. Here are the figures of the population pyramid of Kenya, population pyramid of India. The population pyramid of India shows a wider base, but the middle portion of the pyramid is in healthy shape. The top is narrow, which shows that there is sizable proportion of people in economically productive age group. This is a good sign for economy of India, as the number of dependents is not too much. Population pyramid of Japan. The population pyramid of Japan shows a wider middle and narrower base and top. This indicates towards a low birth rate and death rate. The relative size of dependent population is less as compared to the relative size of population in the economically productive age group. While this is ideal for the present, it does not hold good omen for future. In future, there would be more elderly and less people in the working age group. Sex ratio. Sex composition is a very significant indicator of the quality of human resources of a country. In fact, primarily it is understood on the basis of sex ratio. Sex ratio is defined as the number of females per 1,000 males. It is an important social indicator to measure the extent of prevailing equity between males and females at a given point of time. Sex ratio should be favorable to females, but in our country, sex ratio has always remained unfavorable to females, and the matter of concern is that it has been declining. It is primarily because of the prevailing discrimination against females in our society. A favorable sex ratio is available only in one state and one union territory. It is 1058 in the state of Kerala and 1001 in the union territory of Puducherry. Literacy. Literacy is an indicator of development of any society. As defined in the census report, a person aged 7 and above who can both read and write with understanding in any language is treated as literate. Literacy rate in our country was 18.33% in 1951. It has increased to 74.04% in 2011. Among various states of our country, Kerala has the highest literacy, 93.91%, followed by Lakshadweep, 92.28%, and Mizoram, 91.58%. But the literacy rate in general is lower among females as compared to males. Population growth and development. Every year, India adds population equal to the population of entire Australia. The population of India is more than that of the US, Canada, Russia, Brazil and Australia taken together. About 50% of Indian population lives in 5 states: Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal and Andhra Pradesh. A high population rate puts a strain on the utilization of limited natural resources. As a result, standard of living goes down and problems such as lack of housing, water availability, employment opportunities, etc. arise. Inverse is true for developed countries where population growth is low and hence living standards are high. Recap. Human resources include trained, skilled and creative people, not large population. Sex ratio, age structure and literacy are important components of human resources. Population distribution in the world is influenced by several factors such as topography, climate, natural vegetation, soil, mineral resources, industries, transportation, urbanization and government policies. Change in population depends upon birth rate, death rate, and migration. The tapering figure of the population based on age and sex is termed as population pyramid.